Hello, hello, hello. Alright, we're getting right into it because, I think Wyatt's interrogation is gonna be in 7 minutes, guys. In 7 minutes. We telegrammed Dalloway saying that today at 4 p.m. works. So, we're getting interrogated, and then we're gonna go do the big job with the gang.
I didn't know you were standing there. I was writing. I bought a new book. Did you get my telegram? I have a gift.
Alright. We're gonna go there unarmed. We're not gonna take anything in there with us. Gonna drop stuff off in the bank. Just gonna be a chill guy, alright? Chill guy. Who would never do anything wrong. What's going on, Jay Jolly, Reverie Embers? How are we? How are we? We're good, I hope. Alright. Gun. Hatchet. Hammer. Knife. Alright. That's good. Hola. This is Wyatt Mooney here for my interview.
Oh, excellent. Detective Dalloway, we've been corresponding via telegram.
Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming you've put all your weapons away.
Yeah. I got a little bit of rope footage on me, but you know, just a few feet of rope, nothing too bad.
All right. Do you mind if I do a quick pat down then, just for procedure's sake?
Yeah, go for it.
Just due to the nature of the rope, I wouldn't advise that we bring
Yep.
that in.
Go for it.
Also, I accidentally stole Sunshine's knife. I did telegram him about that in order to arrange a return.
Yeah.
So if you do see him, just let him know.
He's been going through a bit of a medical episode, as you probably could tell.
No, I feel like a lot of people are. Okay, if you'd like to just go into that room right there, we'll be with you in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Lord. Here we are, guys. Here we are. This is gonna be interesting. Put on some music.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let me just check the telephone is unplugged so that the mayor doesn't come after us.
Who's this one? The fella there.
I'm Detective Kane, sir. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Oh, don't sound too enthusiastic.
This is a dark and dingy room.
Yeah, only the best for us here in Saint Denis.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have a little more gold.
All right.
Oh. You have a plan for this? Not really. I'm not saying shit. They're talking
All right, sorry to
first.
keep you waiting. Where do we begin? Okay, so I just wanted to start by asking you a little about yourself, Mr. Mooney.
Sure.
Yeah, just maybe a little before the crossing, that sort of thing. Like, just if you were to introduce yourself to me, how would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Wyatt. I mean, that's all I tell people. What do you want, a job title?
Okay. Parents still alive?
One of them, yeah.
All right. In the crossing?
No.
All right. Live out of state. Any siblings?
Only child.
All right. And how would you describe how you were raised?
Hmm. I spent a lot of time with my dad.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe your father?
He was a good man.
And in your definition, what makes a good man?
That they're good.
All right. All right.
I am using reshade, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to make you uncomfortable. If there's anything you are clearly not going to answer, I just want you to say so. What I will advise is that what you don't want to do in this case, in the interview, is start lying. I know it's going to, the temptation is going to be difficult, and the habitual nature of that, in order to clear your name and others, is going to be hard to fight against. But what I will advise, and I am trying to be kind by advising this, is that I've gone through and looked at a lot of cases and tried to study your criminal history, but that doesn't paint you as a person. You see what I'm saying? My predicament is that I don't know you as a person. I only know charges. You see, and I don't deal with charges. I deal with people. So I'd like you to give me the opportunity to get to know you here as a person, as a human.
All right.
So your friend, Lucius Landry, Sunshine, the judge, he's asked me to have a good look at this case. He doesn't want to be charged unfairly, and I agree. I intend to be fair. In order to be fair and to prove things, you're going to have to be honest with me in a way that you probably aren't even honest with people you're close to, so that I can legally prove you and the people you care about either condemn or clear. You see? So it's your solemn duty to say all you can of the truth that you feel that you can, in order to help me solve this case and the cases I bring to you. Believe it or not, I will know when you're lying. I have a lot of evidence and information that I've spent several hours just peeling over. And I'm going to ask you direct questions, and every answer has an implication and a consequence that's not only for yourself, but every single person you've ever worked with since your time in the crossing. By trying to protect one of your friends, you actually could condemn them today. Okay, I need you to understand that. By trying to protect someone with silence, you may inadvertently condemn someone to a crime.
Yeah.
So if you're honest with me, I will do everything in my goddamn power to help you. But if you're dishonest with me, and I feel that, that's going to not look great on the case towards this other case, because the judge was telling me everything has to be evidence-based, fact-based, and some of that evidence is your statement. I know we have a statement from you on the scene that day, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to give me another statement in a bit. But first, we're just going to go through your history, okay?
All right. Yeah.
All right. Going way back to May.
May. What the fuck?
Were you here in the crossing before May?
April, May. That's
Just around that time, yeah.
yeah. That's when I got here.
Do you remember an incident where you were tied up in Valentine over some lady, like a love triangle? This would have been very early days.
I don't recall.
All right. In May, I think you were out a robbing and managed to steal some bread and hit someone over the head. Do you remember that incident?
I don't recall.
Because I think that one is fascinating, because it's one of the first times we have you on scene somewhere. And for me, it's fascinating because you steal bread.
Maybe I was hungry.
Well, I figure that much. I figure you must have been hungry. That's a crime of desperation. That's a crime, almost, if you hadn't hit the person, one might say victimless crime, in my opinion. If someone's hungry in a society that doesn't provide enough for people, is it really a crime to steal that bread? Could be the philosophy one has. That I would argue. And
Maybe I was just hungry.
Maybe. I'm just asking whether you remember that.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Because we're gonna go through a lot of these have already been processed. Most of these are in the archives. I'm going to go through, chat to you about some of these, and that's going to establish a baseline of your honesty, a baseline of your memory, and how well those two things can be relied upon when it comes to future and current cases.
Yeah.
When it's a case of a dead person versus a bunch of live people, the victim can't say much. But everybody else that's a person of interest can say things. And I take those words very seriously. So I just need to know whether you're the kind of person who can remember clearly and honestly.
I have a condition.
What's the condition?
I've been hit in the head too many times.
All right. Has this been documented with the medical department?
Yes.
And what did they say is the sort of consequence of these head injuries?
I'm irritable and I don't remember things.
All right. May 19th, made someone dance talking about being in the newspaper. Seems to be very important to you, to be noticed, to be liked. Would you say that's true?
I hate the newspaper. I agree.
But at that time, did you want to be in the newspaper? Some kind of infamy or otherwise attention?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I
Because
forgot.
around this time, there seems to be some attention-seeking behavior that escalates. So first starting out with bread, and then all of a sudden, like robbing people.
This is all before I
And then,
started
asking, is
streaming
this gonna make
Wyatt,
the paper?
before I
Just
was
seems
in
a
the
little-
goons.
It's
This
just
is all
fascinating.
like early
All right,
days.
July. Drunk and disorderly, accusing people of witchcraft. I think in this time in your life, it seems that maybe you were a little directionless. How are you feeling in July?
I hate witches.
All right. What would you define as a witch?
Someone who dabbles in the dark arts.
Dark arts.
They make
okay,
me
dark arts.
uncomfortable.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
So do you remember being drunk and disorderly, accusing people of witchcraft?
I probably did it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. A lot of drunk and disorderlies.
I like to drink.
That's fair, same. July 28th, Hank Hammer's tortured. Do you remember that?
I remember Hank Hammer, yeah.
How would you describe Mr. Hammer?
He crucified me, so I think he's a pawn of the devil who is better off dead.
All right, well, before the crucifixion,
Before that, he shot me.
when did that occur?
I forgot. Before the crucifixion,
So
probably.
prior to the crucifixion, was this after you tortured him?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So there's like an escalation between you two. He's pushing your buttons, you respond. He pushes your buttons, you respond.
Yeah. I remember
Where does
him
this conflict
being
come
in,
from?
Well, he was a particularly passionate law dog. He really wanted to take us down, and he was a bloodhound.
Mm-hmm.
Very interested in justice.
How did you meet him?
Um, I was probably doing something or another. He had to step in and dissuade me from doing so. Probably. I don't remember exactly when I met him.
Do you know where Mr. Hammer lived?
I think he lived out west. What's going on, Ibex Mouse?
All right, around after the torture of Hank Hammer, just a few days later in August, there was a ransacking of a medical office in Saint Denis. Do you recall this?
We probably needed medical supplies.
What kind of medical supplies y'all need?
I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Let's try and think back. It would have been David Douglas would have been on scene.
I don't know who
Probably
that
wearing
is.
red. A Scottish gentleman.
I still don't know who that is.
All right. Right, so you're saying you don't remember this incident where the Saint Denis medical office is broken into? Everything smashed up, windows.
I know that there used to be an opium den run by some people that I knew.
Right.
That might have been it. Something trying to steal opium or something, maybe. I don't know. But I don't
Who
remember.
would want the opium?
There was a fella named, what the fuck was his name? He ran an opium den in Saint Denis. Sunshine had a hand in it as well, that opium den. I think that was, when I met him, he was helping run that opium den. Yeah. But, yeah.
No, that's fair. All right, so at this point is when I see Sunshine in the picture of your timeline officially. It's around August. Let's see. Wyatt, Sunshine. Yeah, and a few others. Let me have a look at this. All right. Oh, this one's a nasty one. Mary Jane McFarland. Remember an incident with Mary Jane?
Yes.
As I understand it, there was some contention there. Mostly Sunshine, but folks were on scene. And
Yeah.
what happened that night that she's next to Teddy's body and his fucking decapitated head and all that? Do you remember that?
It was a skeleton, yeah. We
It's a
stole
skeleton.
it. We stole, I think it was her son. Yeah, we stole him.
Who's we?
The gang. We were all mercenaries at the time.
Well, I want particular names because here's the problem I have. And I'm going to be very honest with you, Wyatt, in a way that I probably shouldn't be. I have a giant list of your gang members. I will talk to you about every single person. People who are official, people who are unofficial, people who have seen you a couple times. So it's very imperative we get official names because if I don't get who's on what scene, I will be forced to blanket charge the entire gang for every single one of these crimes. So that's why this is important. That's why I'm going through this timeline. Because I have a list of people associated with the gang. And I want to make sure not everyone gets those charges. I want to clear charges for people. I want to use process of elimination with your help and the others to find out who was on scene. So not everybody, according to the sheriffs, gets charged with all these things. It will be the difference between some people spending time in Siska and only the people who were there spending time there.
I've already been charged for this.
Absolutely, but not everyone else has. So if you remember who was on scene, that would be very helpful.
Well, what I know for a fact is that the leader of the gang, Sunshine, he was there.
Absolutely.
And I know that Butch Egan was there, and he's dead.
Absolutely. And
It was probably some sort of ragtag group of mercenaries. You know, back in those days, we wouldn't do nothing for each other if money wasn't involved.
All right. So there was no love.
No, there still isn't.
Really? You don't think Sunshine loves y'all?
Oh, well. Yeah, maybe.
I think there's love there. I've
Right.
seen evidence of a bit of it.
Next one.
Now, I want to talk about this one. I want to know which of these mercenary ragtag groups would love to be there as a woman sat next to her dead son's corpse in the desert, left there in the middle of the desert, and then a telegram is sent from Benedict Point about a half an hour later to advise that someone's out there. Sounds really familiar, that sort of MO.
No, it doesn't.
Do you remember who was there?
I remember Sunshine was there, and I remember Butch Egan was there, yeah.
All right, moving on. That's fine.
Because I remember Butch Egan snorted the man's skull.
He snorted in the skull.
He snorted the skull, yeah, crushed it up and snorted it a little bit, yeah, a little bit of it.
Jesus heckin', sorry, pardon me.
And she watched, so...
What do you make of Butch Egan?
I think he's dead, and I think I'm not gonna think about him.
Why's that?
He was my friend. And it saddens me that he's dead. That's all.
So it's just an uncomfortable topic. That's fine. I would like to get an insight into Mr. Egan. He is dead and he can't speak for himself in the manner that you can. How did you feel when he was crushing a skull and snorting the skull?
I felt like I was about to make $1,200 off of one gun.
Would you say that your criminal exploits are fairly successful?
Used to be. Now,
What about now?
I don't really like committing crime. And I
Why's that?
don't. Because I feel bad about it.
Really?
Yeah,
So, did you feel bad about the crushing and snorting of the skull, or did you feel like you were going to make 1,200 off of one gun?
yeah.
Yeah.
The money was
All
good.
right. That's fair. That's fair. So, a little moving on. A few days later, with our new best pal Butch Egan, kidnapping Edith Rolls from the outdoor market. What's going on there?
I remember Edith being someone that Butch was fond of, but I don't remember that exact incident.
I've actually heard about this, that the people Butch liked were actually people he would target in a negative way. Is that true?
I don't know. Maybe.
How close would you say you were to Butch before he passed?
Before he passed, probably about as close as anyone could get to him, which is not that close,
Why would you say
but
that
still
is?
closer than most. Hmm. I don't think he really knew how to function as a person. But he did good things on occasion.
Kind of good things.
Saved me on multiple occasions. Went out of his way. He always protected Adelaide when I wasn't able to because I was locked up in fucking Sisika.
And how would you say he protected her, just by?
Just by being there. Making sure she doesn't wander off on her own when we have people out trying to kill us.
She did mention she's sort of a bit of a free spirit.
She is.
I do like Italy. Spoke with her the other day. All right. August 19. Okay, so you say y'all saved Armadillo from the Cucamonga Kid. Let's talk about that. I don't know Cucamonga from Adam, so I'd like to know what the fuck's going on with that, so I don't have to read a bunch of reports.
I'm surprised you don't know who Cucamonga is, given that he
I don't give a shit.
gives
about
you
the
guys
West.
so much information.
I don't know about that. I
He
used to work in
does.
the West.
His whole ranch does.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a homicide detective, so this is sort of my bag. When it comes to all that stuff, I couldn't give two flying fucks about gangs and that sort of thing most of the time. This is an anomaly for me, having to talk to so many gang members. Typically, it's one-off murders from psychopaths or multiple murderers, that sort of thing, you know. So why don't you tell me about that conflict?
I don't remember.
It was a big claim to be the heroes of Armadillo for taking out some idiot. What was so bad about him?
I don't remember. I really don't.
All right, that's fine. Moving on, Casper Finn. You you asked him to write you an article.
I
Remember
did.
that?
Yeah, I remember.
What did you want him to write?
Something about Hank Hammer. Something
Yeah.
bad.
Where did you take Casper?
The desert, I think.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember where?
No.
Do you remember how far out?
Not too far.
And who was there that day?
Nobody other than me and him.
Okay. August 22nd. The Battle of New Austin. Do you remember that day?
The Battle of New Austin. Could that be any more vague?
I know. Winsome sews somebody's mouth shut with Johnny Wacky. Do you remember that?
No, but it sounds fucking brutal.
Indeed. You were in Sisika and Adelaide visited you?
Maybe, I don't remember that. I don't remember anyone ever visiting me because it's so fucking hard to get a visitor.
It is true, unless a deputy's on the case. And, you know, certain people with criminal past can't visit. Do you remember stabbing Leonidas?
No.
When did you meet Adelaide?
It was... I think it was shortly after my big prison stint. My biggest one. And we were living on McFarland's ranch. And I met Adelaide in Armadillo, and Dakota basically set us up. And then from there, I mean, you know.
Do you
been
remember
good.
what you first said to Adelaide?
I think I screamed at her.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you remember what you screamed?
No.
All right. All right. Describe Adelaide for me.
She's perfect.
All right. And what do you like about her?
She makes me feel safe.
At what point? At what point did Adelaide ask to start being a part of things?
Pretty soon into it.
Hmm. And at what point did you let her?
Pretty soon into it.
Why would you say that is? Because I have a theory, and I just want to see if it matches up.
At first, I wanted her to stay away. Because I didn't want things to get complicated. But then I realized that I probably shouldn't try to control her. So I didn't.
She's a hard lady to control, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Moving swiftly. If at any time you're hungry or need 5 minutes, please let me know. We will accommodate you.
Sure.
All right, we're moving on. Around late August, we're seeing some more accosting of reporters, threatening editors to kill or whatnot. We're having problems with the newspaper again.
Like I said, I hate the newspaper.
Well, they do tend to publish nastiness.
They sure do.
Now, typically, I would just write a letter to the editor explaining my, maybe with some disparaging comments for the editors, but y'all took it a little extra step too far there. Who's there when you accost these reporters?
Accost? What do you mean? What?
when you confront the reporters with threats. You gave them a choice of one editor has to die, and you let them choose.
I don't know.
I'm going to ask you to think back because I do know.
The gang has never been that fucking big. All
I
right,
know,
it
and I
was
appreciate
probably
that.
the same fucking people.
And who are these same people?
Sunshine, Butch. I reckon Javi was probably there. I don't know. Usually it's always me and Sunshine and Butch. I don't know.
At this point, you don't got any ladies in the gang?
No. I don't think. I don't fucking remember.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll move on. September 3rd, early September, a woman named Eleanor, French woman, is kidnapped from a saloon and hit with a hammer several times. This is yourself, I believe. Who else was there at this scene?
Nobody.
All right. I'm going to advise you that you might be stumbling into maybe perhaps a misremembering there, but there will be another person on scene at least. Do you remember who was on scene?
I remember there was a person that was sneaking up to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that. But I mean, they weren't fucking involved.
And you're saying it was just you in this incident?
Yes.
Okay. And then shortly after, a couple days later, you were crucified. You want to tell me about that? How does that all happen?
Hank and his fucking preacher guy there, they kidnap me and they crucify me.
It's a good Cliff Notes version, but
You know what? Why is that important?
I think how you were feeling at the time is very relevant.
I was fucking crucified. How do you think I was feeling? You think I was all fucking sunshine and roses? How would you feel? It's probably how I felt.
All right. September 19th. This is a little while after. I'm guessing you spent some time recovering. And then you and Johnny Waggy are out robbing. When does Johnny Waggy come into the picture? Is he just... he part of the gang? A special guest? Recurring character? What's going on?
What's going on? Johnny Waggy is a person that I know. I mean, fuck,
Should I add
everyone
it to
knows
the list?
everybody.
I know everybody knows everybody. I call it criminal incest when y'all are just...
Yeah, sure.
everybody's working with everybody,
Sure.
and that's fine. But again, I don't want to unnecessarily accidentally charge people for X, Y, and Z. At the same time, if Johnny Waggy's name is coming up a billion times, how do I know he isn't on a scene later or before? You know, so if you're happy to tell me, hey, I just work with these people, they're not official.
He's not in the fucking gang. Never has been.
Thank you. Perfect. That is all I needed to know.
Have you not
Couple
seen
days
him
later.
pop up a million times with Cook and his fucking cookies? That's
All
his
over the
gang.
place. Again, I am a homicide detective. Not super interested in gangs.
Maybe you should be because you're dealing with a fucking gang.
Absolutely, which is why I'm asking you some questions. Wyatt kills... okay, so you killed Dallas Longhorn in prison.
I did.
What did he say?
I forgot.
Well, pretty hefty stuff to kill a man over. I'll give you a clue. It has to do with Adelaide.
They did have a little... Yeah, that's probably why I approached him. I don't remember what he said directly leading up to it. But yeah, it was a little spat with Adelaide, I think. That makes sense.
Do you remember anything else?
I killed him. Stomped his fucking head in.
Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel?
I collapsed shortly after.
Yeah, as I understand it, the doctors called it a neurotic break.
I was just upset, you know? I didn't want to do it. All right? I felt bad. Why can't they just write that? I felt bad.
Did you say that at the time? Did you express your remorse?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well,
Maybe not.
A lot of the time, in court cases, when someone feels guilty, even if they aren't guilty, they might express remorse or something like that.
I felt bad. I did. All right?
No, that's amazing. Have you ever passed out or had a reaction like that before to a violent incident?
I feel bad about things all the time.
But when you feel bad, do you pass out like that?
No. It's probably because
What do
I
you
was
think
in
was
prison
different?
and I was fucking malnourished. That's probably why. I probably was just a bit too hungry.
All right, all right. All right, September 24th, you have managed to get yourself on a restaurant blacklist. You want to talk about the Plucked case?
Yeah, they put me on the fucking list.
How did you make the list, Wyatt?
I mean, they had it on the fucking building. And
But okay, so they write the list.
I'm sure
of
you
course.
could go
Wyatt
look.
Mooney. I understand, but how would you get on the list? That's what I don't.
Because they
understand
don't
is how
like
do-
me. They're a fucking business. They can put whoever they want up there. It doesn't
That's
even have
true,
to be
but
for a good reason.
You think it was for no reason?
I don't know. It was so long ago.
You think you pissed somebody off?
Probably.
What do you think?
I
pisses
would
people
assume.
off about you.
Adelaide thinks I'm a raging lunatic sometimes. Probably true.
So you get on this blacklist, and then just a few days later, you're having issues with you end up at Pronghorn and having a little bit of an altercation there.
Pronghorn.
It was a passing thing. I have the
A
notes
passing
here.
thing. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's certainly
I have the
passed by
notes.
my memory because I don't
Yeah,
fucking remember it.
It says bored question mark slow day because it seems to be when you got nothing to do and when your boys aren't about, it seems like you just do shit. Would you say that's fair?
I don't know, maybe. I'm
'Cause
usually
when
not
I'm bored,
alone.
I play the landlord's game or Scrabble or something. I normally don't go to a ranch and start picking fights with because honestly, between you and me, oh my gosh, those pronghorn people, they can be a lot. All right, a few days later, October. God, we're flying through. You and Growler. How does Charles Austin come into the picture? When did you meet Charles? Good old Chezzer.
I don't know. It was out west, I think. We went out riding or something. I don't know. There was something about a dog. I think. Yeah, no, there was a dog involved.
Okay, okay. All right, October 2nd, you and Growler, once again, the damn plucky cactus getting in the way. Seem to have a lot of issues with people at saloons in general, according to your criminal history. I don't know what it is about you and restaurants, but
Oh,
seems like you can't stand them.
who would have thought a place that serves alcohol has rowdy customers?
Absolutely. But in this case, Rosie, the owner of the restaurant or the manager, offers to accept an apology and put everything under the bridge, but you
I
refused
didn't
and apparently
apologize.
threatened to cut off her nose. No, that's fine. Why not apologize?
Because I didn't want to.
But if apologizing gets you off the blacklist and
I
solves
didn't
all the
want to.
problems, why not?
Because I don't remember. I didn't want to at the time. I decided I didn't want to, so I didn't.
Do you think that's petty?
Sure. Do
you
I think
define
it's
yourself
petty
as-
that they put me on the fucking blacklist? Yeah, I think that was
Well,
petty.
I mean, I think that's a manager's prerogative. If they have issues, that's sort of standard. Now, it's embarrassing, certainly humiliating, absolutely. I wouldn't stand for that shit. You know, I'd be upset too. I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Mooney. How would you define that response to a request for an apology? Is it because it seems quite a bit of an escalation to threaten to cut somebody's nose off?
I just didn't like the place. I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Adelaide, being the loyal lady that she is, vandalizes the restaurant. After that, we got October 5th, Armadillo, Fort Mercer fight with the deputies. Javier, Growler, yourself, and a few others. You want to talk about that? Do you remember that at all?
Oh, what was that?
Some sort of spat at Fort Mercer shortly after
Which one?
Joe's restaurant. I know. This would have been just after your issues with the restaurant, early October. It's all right if you don't remember. October 6th, the next day from that incident, you would have been dragging around Deputy Rockman through Armadillo by rope. Do you remember that?
Did I? Maybe. Oh. Would I do something like that?
All right, and then the
Yeah.
next day, you and Johnny are back at the Plucky Cactus, not
Yes.
to
Uh-huh.
eat, right? But you robbed Ida. Ida Allman comes into the picture. And you took Myrtle and Rosie out west to Tumbleweed. What was the goon's name for Tumbleweed?
Goonbleweed.
Goonbleweed. All right. And then the posse arrived and argued. So Cook and them come over, and you've got Ida, Myrtle, and Rose.
Don't have Ida. No.
No, you don't have Ida. Okay, so you robbed Ida.
I didn't.
Who robbed Ida?
Johnny did.
And who was on scene?
Me. Johnny. Cooking the fucking cookies, yeah.
All right, and at this point, while you were talking with Cook, sort of working things out, the women just right away. How did that make you feel?
Perturbed.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Ava. How do you know Ava Beauregard?
She was Mary's friend, yeah.
Mary who?
Mary Glass.
Mary Glass, okay. On October 8th, Mary is attacked by a hammer. Do you remember that?
No, I don't recall. Wait, when was this?
October 8th, Ava Beauregard and Mary Glass. Mary Glass is come in saying over and over Wyatt to her horse because she's had a head injury because she is attacked by a hammer.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, October 14th, sort of mid-October, goons are out west. Javier, yourself, Charles Austin Sunshine. At that point, who else? Who fully is in the gang at that point? Same names we've been listing.
As of when?
Mid-October.
I mean, me, Sunshine, Butch, Javi, Waco,
How long is Waco involved for?
he's one of Sunshine's friends.
Mm-hmm. So sort of a pick up sticks situation.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of just Sunshine's bodyguard, but
All right.
you
Do
know.
you remember a nice Rhodes bank robbery before y'all fled to Bulger's Glade with a shootout, and then you trade some deputies to be able to walk away scot-free?
It probably happened. I don't know.
Okay. Then after that, there's a few random cases of violence. An idiot falls off a bridge, blah, blah, blah. Still have some issues with the very dangerous parlor houses. And then we come to near Halloween.
Sure.
So Halloween, Sunshine's wearing some stupid armor and gets shot. It's you and some others are there. We're going to play a game called Who Was There?
Sunshine's been shot quite a few times.
All right, well, this would have been on All Hallows Eve. Try and think of a happy Halloween. What was going on?
I don't fucking remember.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I do. It was you, Charles Austin, Ida, Mary, and Adelaide.
I know all of those people, sure.
Absolutely. How well do you know Mary Glass?
I know her well.
And for how long?
I don't know, months, I think.
Let's see. At this point, I mean, it really is a ladies' game because this is when the ladies are coming out in full force. I think by this time Butch may be dead, which is in which case why we're bringing on the bench sitters, so to speak. Do you remember kidnapping Myrtle again and leaving her at Riggs?
No, I don't.
All right. Let's go back to Mary Glass. How would you describe her?
She was a good friend.
What makes her a good friend? Well, maid. Sorry.
She always saw the best in me.
And how would you describe her as a person?
Caring. Frustrating. Not alive anymore.
Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel?
Sad.
All right. Out in the canyon out west around November 11th. We're getting closer now. Sunshine, Ida, Charles Austin, Adelaide, yourself. And y'all are just hanging out in the canyon. And the law comes by, starts some nonsense, and then cooking cookies come by and interrupt. Do you remember that at all?
No.
Okay. All right. Mid-November, there's a another Fort Mercer situation. One of the ladies got injured on scene and had to be taken away from the fort to be cared for. You fled with her on the horse. Name that woman on scene.
I fucking forgot.
Okay. All right. Then there's a big shootout, blah, 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 drunken fighting again. You got issues when you're drunk. You do a lot of fights when you're drunk?
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, that's fair. I just get sad when I'm drunk. I'm one of those. All right, Christmas party / the wake of Mary Glass. Let's talk
Yes.
about that. How was the party?
It was good. Good party.
All right, what happened?
We drank. There was a raffle of some kind. We had a nice dinner upstairs. I think the law came in at one point. Yeah.
Who brought Mary's corpse into the wake?
I was drunk.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I ask if you were drunk?
Well, you asked if I remember.
Yes, that's a yes or no
I got
question.
fucking shit-faced.
All right.
Someone
so you were
did.
shit-faced. Someone did. All right, that's fine.
Someone did. I mean, clearly someone did. Does it matter? I didn't think it mattered, which is why I didn't retain the information.
That's fine. No need to be upset, Mr. Mooney. Did you need
Well, you're
a snack or
upsetting me with your
anything?
fucking questions because they're all fucking stupid.
Well, I apologize. What injuries did you see, if any, on her body?
I kept my distance. I didn't really like the idea of, what they did. Not
Christmas
really.
wake?
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I kind of just kept drinking. I was upstairs most of the time.
Why didn't you like it?
Because it's a fucking body at a party.
I mean,
It's unbecoming.
plenty of people have wakes as parties, so it's kind of what a wake is.
Well, I just don't like the concept.
Fair.
Conceptually, I'm just not on board. And I honestly, Dead people scare me.
That's fine. No, that's fair. How close was Mary to Growler?
Close, like the rest of us.
Did Mary have any romantic inclinations toward anybody in the gang?
Nobody in the gang, no.
All right. What do you know about Van Horn?
I know it's a town, and I know the people who live there are a little freakish. Just certain kinds of people. Like the pig woman and the one with the sharp teeth who bites his lovers.
Lovely. Are there any other notable personalities from Van Horn that you can recall?
Well, there's a witch there, I know that. There was obviously Pete. Squeaky Pete. That's all I remember. Oh, Johnny Sissy Man, I remember him. Yep, I remember that one.
All right, and can you talk about the conflict that occurred between Van Horn and the Goons?
It was bloody and people died.
Well, if I handed you a book and it said it was bloody and people died, you wouldn't find that book fun, would you?
It's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be the truth.
All right. Well, what is the truth around that scenario? How
It
did
was
the conflict
bloody and
start?
people died.
But how did it start? Who tossed the first stone?
Yeah, the bit rate's dropping a little bit, guys. It'll steady out. What do you say?
Well, who sort of how did the altercation start? They come out west to be bastards. You come out east. It really doesn't matter. All these charges are long dead. I just want to understand context.
You know how it fucking works. Someone does something another guy doesn't like, and then it becomes a whole fucking
Just
thing.
escalates
Nobody
and
can
bullshit.
drop it.
All right. Tell me about this fucking witch. I've not
The
heard about
witch?
this.
She's a fucking witch. And
How
she makes
so?
me
What does the witch
uncomfortable. What?
Oh, well, what makes her a witch?
Did I not already say this? She dabbles in the dark arts.
What is the dark arts? If I've never heard about witchcraft before.
She
I
lays
can ask this
curses.
person-
She lays curses.
Curses,
All right,
okay. And
stay away
what's this
from her.
witch's name?
I don't fucking know.
You have a description?
I
Anything?
just refer to her as the Witch of Van Horn. She's old.
Witch of Van Horn, old. What's the description, just so I can follow up on this and find this person?
Old woman. Dresses like a witch.
Okay. What kind of hair?
She hides it usually. I think she's hidden her hair every time I've seen her. She wears this like head wrap thing.
How long has she lived in Van Horn?
I don't know, probably a while.
Do you know where in Van Horn she lives?
No idea.
Was she part of the conflict between Van Horn and Lagoons?
Not really. She wasn't a fucking fighter. In that
Well, you don't have to
conflict.
fight to be part of a conflict.
What are you gonna do? Fucking de-escalate?
Well, I don't know. She's got witchcraft, the dark arts. She can do all sorts.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is we probably weren't privy to it.
All right, no, that's fair. I mean, that's pretty much most of my timeline here. Let's have a look. When did you know you loved Adelaide?
How the fuck is that relevant?
I think it is relevant.
Right away.
Right away. Okay.
Yes. I've
You know,
loved her
she
ever
said the
since.
same thing about you. She said it was love at first sight.
Yeah. That's because I love her.
I believe that. Charlotte Hastings, where does she fit in?
She's a therapist.
When did y'all meet her?
Before the Christmas party, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know exactly.
Do you know any other therapists?
They're all complete hacks.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. It is a burgeoning science therapy. And
Charlie's the only good one.
Charlie's a good therapist. Name
I
some
mean, she's
bad
not
ones.
really, though. I don't know. Some
Have you
bad
ever
ones.
been offered therapy
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really? You think I haven't been offered therapy? I mean, look at
Well,
me.
you know, I don't like to assume. Who offered you therapy?
I've spoken to 2 therapists. One was way back. That was Dr. Orvid, I believe, and he was a fucking whack job. He told me to kill somebody. I mean, he
All right, who
implied
did he
it.
tell you to kill?
He implied it, all right? But I mean, I didn't do it, obviously. He told me that, I mean, he implied that I should kill Butch. I never really...
Why would he do that?
I don't think I ever spoke to him again.
Okay.
I mean, he kind of off-put me.
Well, yeah, if someone's implying that you ought to hurt
Yeah,
somebody that's a
yeah,
close
well-
friend of yours, that would be off-putting to say the least.
Yeah, and then there was Vivian DeWinter, I believe. And she was just a little too soft, you know. I don't know.
And did you have sessions with these folks?
One per.
One per. Okay. All right. And Dakota, was she a real member or sort of just leftovers?
I don't know. She was just as valuable as anyone else, but I don't think she was ever really a part of the gang.
As I understand, she might have had some sort of relationship with Butch, whether that's friendship or otherwise.
Sure,
Did she
they were
leave after
friends.
Butch died?
Last time I saw her was after Butch's funeral.
Fascinating. All right, Archie Monroe. How do we know Archie?
Who the fuck is that?
All right, moving on. Javier. How did we meet Javier?
Javi's been in the gang for a while. He's in a coma currently.
Yes, I heard he was quite injured.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Ida and Sunshine, how would you describe their relationship from beginning
Bad.
to... Yeah. Why?
It was just bad. There's nothing, I mean, there were no good qualities, therefore it was bad.
So there was nothing salvageable about that relationship,
No.
in your opinion?
No.
How would you describe Ida Ullman?
Always sad. If not sad, then obsessed.
How would you describe her relationship in her eyes with Sunshine?
Bad.
Was Ida's time in the gang? How would you describe that?
Bad.
All right. Starting to notice a pattern here. Um, Ava, how long is she involved in the gang at this point? Because I know she's around when Mary's about, but is she, how long after?
Honestly, Ava kind of always just snuck in the shadows. I mean, I never really noticed her.
There seems to be a lot of folks like that, the sort of like practically invisible, either because they're unremarkable or otherwise just sort of middle of the road.
No, Ava's good. Ava's good. Just,
Okay.
does what she needs to do and nothing more.
Okay. So how would you describe everybody's job in the gang? Who's what specialty?
Honestly, I don't even know if we don't really do crime.
All right. Um, uh, all right. Let's have a look. So Cornelius Orvid, just jumping back to them. How did he get introduced to the group?
Orvid, Dr. Orvid,
Mm-hmm.
um, either through Butch or through Sunshine, I don't know. I know it was
Yep, all right.
Sunshine who wanted me to speak to him.
Yeah, Sunshine did confirm that he had spoken with Dr. Orvid about counseling for his gang in general, specifically you. Do you know why Sunshine might think you would require therapy?
Oh, fuck, I wonder why.
All right, fair.
You read off my fucking list of past crimes and you wonder, why would anyone think that this person needs therapy?
Well, I have to ask. All right. Give us 2 minutes. We'll take 2 minute break if that's all right, Mr. Mooney. We won't keep you too much
Sure.
longer. I'm just going to confirm with the detective and see if we have any more questions.
You need anything while we're out? You good on water? Anything?
I'd like a bowl of stew.
Yeah, we can get you that, sure. Alright, back in a sec.
Let me adjust the bit rate, guys. Let me adjust the bit rate. We'll bump it down to 4,000. All right. Hopefully this helps.
All right, Mr. Mooney, I do have a stew for you here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you want a newspaper to read while you're waiting?
No, I hate the newspaper.
All right, just checking. I'll be right back.
Alright, guys, tell me, I've adjusted the bitrate, tell me if it looks terrible, alright? It's gonna look worse, just tell me if it looks terrible. Like, unwatchable. It's still lagging. I'm gonna have to see if this works. You're right, Sully, he didn't do it. He did not do it. There was a bit of talk about Hank Hammer. A little bit of talk about Hank Hammer. They went through all of the goons' past charges.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Mooney. It's just that
Yeah,
there.
sure. Yeah, all right.
All right. We pretty much are almost finished here. We just had a couple of follow-up questions. I think the detective here had a few questions.
Sure, what are they?
Well, Mr. Mooney, I was interested in your relationship with Adelaide a bit more. I mean, it seems like you two are real fond of each other.
I love her. She loves me.
Yeah.
We're engaged.
You're engaged, is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Who popped the question? Was it you?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? You plan anything special or?
I took her to Guarma. She always talked about how she wanted to go. So we went.
Yeah, I treated it like a vacation too and finished it all off with that, or is that the plan?
That was the plan.
Sounds nice. Where'd you do it? I'm not too familiar with Guarma. Never been.
On the castle thing there on the top, overlooking the water.
Oh, is that right? There a castle there?
Yeah.
Hmm. So, you two are, well, like two peas in a pod. Are you, involve her a lot in, what you get into? I mean, some of the things we spoke about today, they're pretty dangerous. I'd be concerned getting the love of my life into things like that.
Things are going good.
Well, good. You reckon she, can look after herself, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's good. It's always nice to find somebody who's, tough, strong, can put up with, you know, trouble like that, I guess. Well, tell me a bit about her. I mean, we spoke a bit about how she got involved in some of your business. I mean, what's she like?
She has a big heart.
In what way?
She cares a lot about people.
Yeah, just, checks in on people often, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She bake?
Um, she does a lot of things.
Like what? What does she, do for work? Does she get money in?
Um, well, she does everything, odd jobs, hunts, goes ranching, basic things.
Sure, yeah.
I'm already streaming it in
Yeah, plenty of work on the job boards
720p.
these days. What kind of hobbies she got? Or is it just kind of linked in with all those odd jobs?
Yeah, she likes making money.
Yeah, who doesn't, I guess? You, go out and work with her too, or?
No, not really.
Oh, why not?
Because I don't. I just decide not to.
Hmm. asking because if she doesn't really have too many hobbies, if she's working all the time, I'm just wondering, what you two get up to, how you spend your time.
What do you say?
Just wondering how you spend your time with each other. What do you do?
We talk. We go on rides.
Yeah. Would you like to ride too? You a Roanoke
just
guy? You
ride
like the
around.
waterfall or? Oh, fair enough. What are you talking about? I mean, just shooting the breeze, or you got any plans for the future?
We talk about a lot of things.
Yeah. You planning any kind of life with each other, or you settled here? Are you thinking about moving?
We have some plans, but they're none of your concern.
Sure. I mean, I'm not prying. I know some
You are.
people like to settle here. Well, I'm just asking. Well, it's nice to hear. Love's come by not too often in a place like this. It's a dangerous country, so well, I'd say you're pretty lucky. What'd you say?
What'd you say?
You think you're lucky you found Adelaide
Yes.
in a place like this? Yeah, I think so too. Well, that's all I wanted to know.
Sure.
Just a couple last ones. How's the roommate situation going? I hear there might be a little trouble brewing there.
Yeah, well. We have two roommates. We have Sunshine and we have Copper.
What do you think about Copper?
She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, but she pretends that she does. This is fucking strange.
How do you feel about her claim that you can't provide for Adelaide?
I fucking hate it.
You disagree?
Yeah, I do disagree.
All right. I mean, I think that's everything.
Sure.
I really appreciate you coming in, Mr. Mooney. I know it's a lot to try to make everything as succinct as possible. Poor Mr. Landry had to be in here for hours and trying to make it where we're not wasting everybody's time.
Lovely.
But yeah, if we have any further questions, I'll let you know. But for now, everything's squared, and I do hope everything goes well with you and Adelaide, and that your wedding goes fine.
Yeah,
and
it's all
everything.
going well, yep.
All right, thank you, sir. Doors are there.
Uh-huh. Oh, look. Is that Deputy Carter? Hello, hello. I'm free to leave, correct? Yeah. I don't think anyone can hear me. I think, hold on. Hold on, we gotta restart TeamSpeak. So I can't hear anyone. Oh, wow. It's a neat little alert. Alright. Alright, are we good? We good? Oh, guys, tell me if it's still buffering and if it looks okay. Because I'm not sure. It's very frustrating when the internet does this. They are very interested in Adelaide. Come on, where the fuck did my horse go? I guess we're gonna have to, wait, are we in a... Ooh, we're bubbled. We're bubbled, that's it. That's why. Fuck. Alright. It's fine. I mean, alright. The gang has committed 1, 2... I mean, and this is like post Van Horn War. This is just post Van Horn War. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 murders. 6 murders is crazy. We gotta go away at some point, you know? Like, they're gonna get caught. Oh. Come on. Yeah, the stream is gonna be delayed for a little bit. It's gonna be delayed probably for the rest of the stream, honestly, which sucks. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the internet. But we're chilling, I guess. Just gonna have to deal with it. Probably won't be much interactivity. Alright, let's grab all our shit out of the bank. Bible. think that was everything. Let's put this in the bank. Let's put this in the bank. There we go. Ugh.
You ever need someone to talk to about it? I'll give you my telegram once I said this.
Yeah, of course.
Tomorrow when I'm fresh and clear.
I need to do it now. I was taking notes, but
I don't think they see me. I don't want to have the awkward situation where they like, oh yeah, we just interrogated you. That didn't feel like an interrogation though. That was definitely more of an interview. Holy fuck, we're so delayed. We are very delayed. Can I get ones in the chat whenever people hear me say this? I just want to test to see how delayed it is. Thank you for the follow, Grendel, and also, that was a fun interview, yeah. I love Dalloway.